This special meeting was called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of April 25th, 2019 was included in a meeting notice sent to the Burlington County Times on April 10th, 2019, and advertised in said newspaper on April 22nd, 2019, respectively posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and has remained continuously posted as required under the statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Proper notice has been given, and the municipal clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of the meeting. The meeting is called to order. Flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Here.
Ms. Schneider?
Here.
Mr. Costa? Mr. Klaus?
Here.
And Mayor Mashaki.
Okay, the first item on the agenda is comments from the public on agenda items only. Do we have any comments?
Oh, Mayor Mashaki's here.
Good evening, Hainesport Township meeting canceled.
Bear with us 1 second, Louis.
Okay.
Hey, how are you?
Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor of Hainesport Township. How you doing? Great. I just got two questions. I'm not a Hainesport resident, but I just got a question. Are there any savings transfer from the 2018 to 2019 surplus to this budget? And how much?
How much of surplus came over from last year to this year?
Oh, about 850,000.
And how much savings do all the grants we have from 2018 to 2019? Or the grant you receive, that got to be savings to your budget, right?
I'm sorry, Mr. Lobet, can you repeat that, please?
Or the grants application you got the 2018 to 2019, that's to say a lot of money to your budget, right? But how much?
How much in total grant money did we receive last year?
Yeah, got to be a huge savings, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we, in the 2019 budget, which would have the 2019 column, what we're going to anticipate, and then the 18 realized, it'll show both years' grants. The grants we had in 18 were $532,000. We only showed 6,619 budget, only because we don't know what grants we may get from now to the end of the year. There could be other grants. We would just do a resolution to amend the budget when we get them. So the grants really have no effect to the tax rate whatsoever. It's a revenue and appropriation.
I got another question on public comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Not seeing any hands, we'll move on to presentation for the budget.
Discussion.
All right, then.
I mean, we can just
Any
quickly
discussion?
go over where we're at.
Yeah, if you want.
Sure. So initially, when we left it at our meeting in April, we had agreed to make the $50,000 reduction to the capital improvement line, the stormwater pipelining, and that is the purpose of this special meeting, is to make that amendment. Since then, we've had some individual discussion, communications with the auditor as well as our CFO, and we're presenting to you, based on the committee's recommendation, is an additional usage of the surplus, which fortunately will not require another public hearing, or you will be able to adopt the budget if you do accept that additional $60,000 surplus. usage for this year's budget, which will further reduce the budget, based on the governing body's desire to do so. And that's where we're at. So an additional $60,000 use of surplus is where we're at tonight.
Okay. So since this is a special meeting for the budget, let's move on to the resolutions. So we have Resolution 2019-86-4, authorizing the 2019 amended budget to be read by title only. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mayor Mashaki?
Yes. And now Resolution 2019-87-4, amending the 2019 budget as advertised. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
At
Miss-
this time, you're going to have to, before you vote, you're going to have to open this to public hearing.
Okay.
And vote on it.
All right. Any comments from the public with regard to the actions proposed tonight? There's one.
Ron Napoli, 120 Paisley Place. Usual question with the adopted amended budget, what will be the impact on the tax rate and the taxes on the average assessed home?
Would you like me to answer?
Sure. Okay. I know you know the answer.
Well, most of the time, not always. So this would show a decrease of $18.96 a year to the average assessed homeowner, a quarterly decrease of $4.74, and a monthly decrease of $1.58.
And that's based on an average assessment of,
I believe it's $278,105.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Now we have a motion.
I guess it would be the motion to amend the budget as advertised, which we just read. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mayor Mashaki?
Yes. Next resolution is Resolution 2019-88-4, further amend the 2019 budget, not requiring advertisement. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mayor Mashaki?
Yes. And finally, Resolution 2019-89-4, adopting the 2019 budget as amended. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor Mashaki?
Yes. So we're back to public participation one more time. Anybody? Going once, twice, three times, not seeing any hands. We'll move on to comments from our administrator.
I have none.
Oh, okay. And our solicitor is not here, so we can skip that. Comments from the committee. Leila, you go first, I'm sorry. There wasn't any.
Anyway, just thank those that came out tonight. There's, wish everybody a happy Arbor Day, remind people about Cleanup Day on Saturday from 7 to 12, and that's about it.
Okay, Jerry?
Yeah, I wanted to, in your packet, there's a correspondence that I got from Delran, and they're putting together a consortium to look into creek flooding, and I think it's really important that we should be involved in this, because hopefully through the power of all the river towns and the creek bordering towns, we can have more of a voice at the Army Corps of Engineers, because we are having some issues. The creek is changing, the water's getting higher, we are having some erosion along certain turns, losing some vegetation, and I think it's, there's even a sample resolution about joining, but I'd like you to just all take a look at it and tell me your thoughts. I'm going to find out more about it, but I think it's something that we should be actively involved with. That's it.
Okay. Lee?
Yes, I have a few things I want to touch on. Tonight, our Township Committee adopted a responsible budget that reduces the tax burden on our residents to the levy comparable to that of the 2017 budget. Not only does this budget lower the tax levy by more than $43,000, but I'm also proud to say that with the passage of this budget, we have held the line on the township taxes from when I first joined this committee. I'm very happy with this budget, and I'm proud that we voted it in as a team. And in regard to the fire last Thursday night, I contacted Chief Mackin Friday morning, and I was relieved to hear that no one was harmed during this incident. And I just want to say I can't imagine what our town would do without our volunteers. So thank you to them if they're listening to this tomorrow. And I also want to remind everyone that this Saturday, we have a spring cleanup day from 7 a.m. until noon. IDs will be checked, Hainesport residents only, and you can find online what is accepted and what's not accepted. And again, thank you for coming out tonight.
Great. Just briefly, I want to thank everyone, our team that put together to help us with the budget. You guys did a great job. Our town's residents should be happy with the result was, because it has actually a negative effect, in the sense less money to be paid tax-wise. That's the first time since I've been on the committee that's happened. That means we're moving in the right direction, which is always a good thing. But again, you guys bore the yeoman's share of the work in doing that, and I really appreciate the effort of the three of you for what you've done to help us along those lines. And again, thank you to our fire department for doing such a great job. And again, Chief Mackin did call me, which I really appreciate, to tell me that everything was handled well, professionally, no one was hurt. And that speaks, again, another thing that speaks well of our town. So thank you all for attending. And that takes us to the bill list.
Yep.
Is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mayor Masaki?
Yes. And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor Masaki?
Yes.
Okay.
Again, thank you everyone for coming. And that ends tonight's meeting. We are
Thank you.
adjourned. Thank you.